Have you ever had the feeling that in the blink of an eye, everything around you seems slightly off, as though the world had subtly changed without you realizing? What if these changes were not just coincidences or misperceptions, but instead signs that you were shifting between different realities without even being aware of it? Parallel realities are often thought of as the stuff of science fiction, but they are actually part of a broader scientific exploration within the realm of quantum physics. This field proposes the existence of infinite versions of reality, all coexisting at once. How does this affect your everyday life? More directly than most people realize. Every decision, every thought, and every emotion can create a subtle shift, an imperceptible transition into a new version of yourself and the world around you. These transitions are often so delicate that they go unnoticed, yet sometimes they are so profound that they completely challenge your understanding of what is real. To grasp the nature of parallel realities is to acknowledge that the present moment is not fixed, it's fluid and malleable. The version of yourself that exists right now may not be the same as the one that existed a moment ago. This constant flux is where the power of transformation lies. A shift in perception or attitude can alter the entire direction of your life, aligning you with a higher version of yourself and a different reality. But how do these parallel realities actually manifest in your daily life? More importantly, how can you tell if you've already shifted to a new reality without even noticing it? Today, you will uncover the signs that indicate you may have shifted into a parallel reality. You might have already moved into another reality without realizing it. As you dive deeper into this concept, you will start to notice that the very fabric of your life may be shaped by these invisible changes, guiding you toward your full potential in subtle, mysterious ways. If everything around you can change so subtly that it's almost imperceptible, what's truly happening with your reality? The idea of parallel realities might sound complicated, but at its core, it suggests that life is not a simple, linear progression. Instead, we are constantly navigating between different versions of reality, each one shaped by our choices, thoughts, and emotions. Imagine your life as a vast ocean, with each wave representing a different version of reality. As you make decisions, the waves of possibility shift, reorganizing to create new pathways. Sometimes, these changes are so small that they are nearly identical to the previous reality. But at other times, the changes are vast and noticeable. What governs these transitions is your state of consciousness. Often, you only become aware of the shift once it has already taken place. Quantum physics offers a powerful metaphor for understanding these transitions. It tells us that the universe is a field of probabilities, where every event and every decision generates a multitude of potential outcomes. What we perceive as our present moment is just one of countless possibilities that could have emerged. Your reality is simply one of these possibilities made manifest. When you wake up one morning and decide to change something about yourself, like breaking an old habit, you could be setting in motion a shift between parallel realities. However, these transitions do not happen dramatically or all at once. They are subtle, like the gradual shift from one scene to another in a movie. This is where the concept of continuity comes in. Much like how a film is made up of individual frames that, when projected quickly, create the illusion of seamless motion, our lives also appear to be a continuous flow of events. In reality, though, you are constantly moving through different frames of existence, each one slightly different from the last. What gives us the illusion of a stable reality is the mind, which strings together these fragmented moments and interprets them as a cohesive narrative. The mind's ability to do this is incredible, but it can also mask the subtle transitions between parallel realities. For instance, when you notice a small, seemingly insignificant change in your environment, an object slightly out of place, or something that feels different even though everything looks the same, this could be a sign that you have shifted into a new reality. While these changes may seem minor, they could signify something much larger is at play. Understanding this dynamic is key to realizing how much influence you have over your reality. You are not merely a passive observer. You are an active creator of the reality around you. Every choice you make, no matter how trivial it may seem at the time, has the power to move you into a new line of existence. But if we are always moving between realities, how can we consciously use this knowledge to evolve? How do we align with the version of ourselves we truly wish to be? On this journey of self-discovery, learning to recognize the subtle moments of transition is the first step in consciously shaping your reality. By paying close attention to the details in your life, you might begin to notice that from time to time, something feels off or slightly different. Perhaps you were sure you left your keys in one spot, only to find them in a completely different place. Or maybe you have a strange sense that something in your environment has shifted, even though it all looks the same at first glance. These minor adjustments in your surroundings could be signs that you've shifted between parallel realities. Such changes, no matter how subtle, can carry deep meaning. When you shift realities, what may seem like a small anomaly, a misplaced object, or a feeling that something is out of place, might actually reflect a transition into another timeline or version of your life. In that moment, you are no longer existing in exactly the same reality as you were before. Think of your life as a series of pathways, each leading to different possible futures. Every thought, choice, or emotion is like a slight adjustment in direction, taking you down one of these paths. Some deviations are so tiny that they're practically imperceptible, but even the smallest changes can set you on a course that leads to an entirely new version of reality. These movements can sometimes manifest as déjà vu, a sense that you've lived a particular moment before, but with slight differences. It's as though you're reliving a familiar moment in a parallel version of your life. Often, the changes are so subtle that they only become evident over time, as you begin to notice a series of small alterations in your day-to-day experience. Beyond small physical shifts in your environment, sometimes you may feel a change in your own energy. You might wake up one day with an inexplicable sense of clarity or a renewed sense of purpose, as though something inside of you has aligned in a way it hadn't before. These moments often signal an internal shift that reflects an external change in reality. Recognizing these shifts is the first step toward understanding just how much you influence the reality you live in. It's not just about a key that seems out of place. It's about understanding that even small discrepancies can indicate larger transformations. These subtle shifts are happening all the time, and the more aware you become of them, the more you can consciously use that awareness to shape your future. By recognizing these changes as indicators of transition, you can make more deliberate choices about the reality you want to create. Instead of merely reacting to the world, you begin to shape it. Becoming mindful of these small changes strengthens your connection to the version of yourself you aspire to become. However, paying attention to these shifts requires more than just simple observation. It requires being fully present and aware of the moment. We often become so absorbed in our routines that we fail to notice the subtle changes around us. But by asking yourself, what feels different? Or why does this seem out of place? You open a door to a new perception of reality. This perception shows you how your world is always evolving, molded by your thoughts, choices, and emotions. The more you tune into these signs, the more you align with your desired self. Every small shift in reality becomes an opportunity for introspection. When you notice these changes, reflect on them. How does this shift relate to who I am becoming? It is in these moments of awareness that the true power of transformation begins to reveal itself. Sometimes, you may recall a past event with total clarity, only to discover later that it didn't happen exactly as you remembered. This phenomenon, where memories seem to change unexpectedly, could be a sign that you've transitioned between parallel realities. As you shift, your memories may subtly adjust, creating a new narrative of the past that feels familiar but is different from what it once was. Our memories are not fixed recordings of events. In fact, they are highly malleable, reshaped each time we recall them. Neuroscience explains this as brain plasticity, the brain's ability to adapt, reorganizing neural connections in response to new experiences and information. However, this malleability also allows for memory adjustments when we shift realities. If you consider the idea of parallel realities, this takes on even deeper significance. When you move into a new reality, your timeline subtly shifts, and your memories adjust to align with that new version of reality. An event that once seemed clear in your mind may now feel different, and these changes may not become apparent until you revisit the memory later. This experience is often linked to the concept of false memory, where you are convinced something happened in a certain way, only to find out it didn't. A well-known example of this phenomenon is the Mandela effect, where large groups of people remember a historical event differently from how it is recorded. This collective divergence of memory could be another clue that reality is more fluid and malleable than we realize. When you encounter discrepancies in your memories, rather than being frustrated, view it as an opportunity for growth. These moments could be signals that you've shifted into a new version of reality. Recognizing this allows you to harness the power of conscious creation, guiding your life in a direction that aligns with your true self. By reflecting on these memory shifts and acknowledging them as signs of transformation, you open yourself up to greater self-awareness and empowerment. Embracing the idea that even your past can shift with your reality unlocks new possibilities for shaping your future. Reality, then, is not rigid. It is an evolving tapestry of potential, where your choices and perceptions influence not only your present, but also your past. You are not bound by a single, predetermined version of reality. You have the freedom to explore and transform it at any moment.